Okay, well, I'm glad that worked out. Okay, I'm gonna do a little intro and then we can get started. I love that
Yeah,
painting
here,
too.
should I change my name maybe here?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can just leave it. I'll
I
just
would.
introduce you. You sent me a little bio, so I'll introduce you and then
Okay.
I will let you get started. Okay, so I think I started the recording, didn't I?
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah,
recording when I hopped on.
perfect. Okay, good morning, everybody. Today I want to introduce my friend Katie. She is first and foremost, she's a bold, Jesus-loving homeschooling mother of two, a wife and Freedom Aligned Movement co-founder with Patty De Silva, former Canadian national gymnast and Division One college athlete, passionate about root cause healing, and she loves sharing about how this business, product, and community is changing lives. So thank you so much for being here, Katie. And I'm just really excited to hear your whole story and everything. So, yeah, go right ahead. I've got some questions here. How was your life before you found this business?
Okay, first, thanks for having me. I love talking about this. So, what was my life like before? Okay, so just full transparency, I was an addict. I definitely was addicted to a lot of terrible things. I would say alcohol, and marijuana. And so I just, and also it was 2021 when I got introduced to this business. And so my husband had lost his job. And he was the sole provider for our family. And there was a girl in our homeschool group who had started the business and was just doing amazing. So at that time, I think like our freedoms were all being taken away,
Yeah.
our health was in jeopardy, our finances were being taken away, and just everything, right? And so we wanted to reclaim all those things, and we just decided to take our children's educational fund out and start this business. And it really, honestly, didn't really make sense on paper for us to be spending any kind of money when we had no money coming in, but we just prayed about it and we felt that, nothing was going to change if nothing changed. Can you hear the dog squeaky toy in the background?
Nope. Nope.
No, okay, okay, good. Yeah, so my life was, I wouldn't say like turmoil, but I was just dealing with so many things that I didn't really think were an issue. And it really wasn't until I started this business that I realized, if I want to become the best version of myself and become a leader and, promote health and wellness, then I had to become that person. So that was what my life was like before we started the business.
Yeah, so some big realizations back then. I think a lot of people had just a lot of things happen. Like you said, everybody's freedom was being taken away. Like, if anything, it woke people up, I think, to what they really wanted in life, right? I
Mhm.
think so. What are you most proudest of since starting this business, and explain your win?
Okay, so I'm definitely the most proud of just like breaking free from that bondage of addiction and like just the victim mentality and this is the way it's going to be and realizing like I'm made for more. We're all made for more. And now I'm just so incredibly proud of the team that Patty and I have created. It's called Freedom Aligned Movement. And just part of this incredible platform and meeting people like you. Um, gosh, I'm so proud of who my children get to grow up with, right? And be that sober mom who, who's gonna remember everything. And when she watches videos back, like she's present in them and she knows, like it's just and it was so crazy because one time when I talked about this story, you kind of think that like, okay, your kids are gonna make you become sober. This is gonna, transfer, but it's really this business. And I used to be ashamed of saying that. But now I'm so proud of it. And I'm so proud that I get to watch other people break free from bondage as well. And it's the cool thing.
Yeah, it's something that you could be proud of all of it because your kids are going to grow up and see, like, look at my mom made this huge change. She decided to change her life, like you said, not be a victim. And you can't you can't get far in this business without changing a bunch of other lives. So it's such an amazing
Mhm.
like ripple effect of what can happen when you just take a chance on yourself and then you start changing all these other lives. It's pretty incredible.
Yes.
Um, so I guess besides like just, well, I guess what I was gonna say is how has this business changed your life financially since you started?
Okay, so before I was just working part-time. It was basically a job that was given to me as a friend. She owns a jewelry store, like a very nice jewelry store in the city, and I was doing like their social media. So I mean, I was bringing in like $700 every 2 weeks, right? Like it wasn't anything, right? But now, I mean, I bring in thousands of dollars a day, right? And I had multiple five-figure months, and so I mean, the finances is awesome, and like that was the main reason why we started. And it's like one of the cool things is like I always have these goals. And so last year we always get like a full cow, and I've told this story before, in December, right? And it's expensive, right? And I mean, that's what we pride ourselves on, is like having to not really go to the grocery store for anything. And so I told my husband, I was like, you know what, next year I am going to afford this full cow. And then it happened. Like it was that and then some. And then so I said, in November of like 2025, I said in November of 2026, we're going to get an extra cow and we're just going to donate it. And so it's just, and like our whole goal is to help kids do sports and stuff like that. And it's just been really cool to be able to help pay for families to do sports and not even let them know that it was us, right? Like it's such a, because I see families struggling all the time. And like me growing up as an athlete, and same with my husband, it just makes you like a more disciplined person, and to have not the ability to do sports because of your parents' financial situation, it's really sad, right? Like just to see these kids that come and then they can't come, and you're like, where did they go, right? So that's such a blessing.
I'd say that there's so many kids that are just like that. Like they can't, they want to, but their parents can't afford to put them in sports, right? That's
Hmm.
pretty incredible. I love that. I love the cow story. I never heard the cow story before,
Okay. Cow
but because
story.
I know what that's like because we buy our own beef too from like a local farmer, and it's like we keep saying like, okay, we're just gonna buy a cow because it's so much better and it's so much cheaper really to do it that way.
Yeah, yeah. We get a cow on a quarter every year, and it's perfect.
That's amazing. So when you first started the business, what would you say your first few months were like?
Okay, so we had like it was called like the 6 week business launch, but now it's like the roadmap to success. So I was just like giving her like I found an AB like the first couple days. I finished the roadmap to success in 4 weeks. Like I was just balls to the wall. And I think it was within I mean, I was only making $700 every 2 weeks, right? Like you have to keep in mind that like I think it was within 4 months, I was already making sales. And then yeah, I mean, like it, but it's been this, right? Like I think anyone as an entrepreneur can relate with that. And it's not until you have this team who is bringing in sales as well that you could totally see like the passive income and the residual income and all that stuff. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, totally. And that, yeah, being an entrepreneur, it's like there's highs and lows, but you basically just
Mhm.
have to keep going. So I guess that leads me to my last question is just what would your advice be to anybody that's on the fence about starting?
I think, gosh, you really have to take an inventory of what's going on in your life right now, right? And think that like it is, because now it's the beginning of the new year or whatever, like the fake new year, and just kind of look at like, so is my bank account around the same? Is my body the same? Is my thoughts the same? Like, where have I grown? And if you really haven't grown, then what makes you think that this next 12 months is going to be any different? Like, and the thing about our platform is like, you can get started in so many different ways. Like, people think that you have to get started with like, this humongous package. And yes, it is the best thing. And I'm sure like you and I recommend that. But the best thing is to just get started with what you can right now. And like I always tell people, I'm like, okay, well, if you don't have the money in the bank, if you don't have the money on a credit card, like if you had the money, would you start? And
Yeah.
like, how far off are you? Because there's financing, right? Like, there's so many ways that like this company wants you to get started. So it's just don't be so quick to say no because of, things that you've heard or the feeling that you have. And I mean, I could just go on forever, but like for us, it made zero sense. Like the person who made all the money lost his job, like we the only thing that we regret is that we would have started sooner. And I think that's so many people's regrets, is that they would have started sooner and just, yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, just go for it.
That's how I feel too. I know. It's like yeah, I knew about the business 10 years ago and I wish I would have jumped in then. Like I can just
Yeah,
imagine what my life would be like if I've been doing this for 10 years. It'd be
I
amazing.
know, right? But I mean, like everything happens when you're supposed to, right? And it's so crazy. Like I'll talk to people and they'll be like, "Well, I really like I'm working like 50 hours a week." I'm like, "But how long? Like how long do you plan to do that for? Like how long, like it's just like yeah, it's you just the freedom that you have, like your mentor, Wendy, like she's a perfect example of just like plugging away
Mhm.
for 2, 3 years, right?
Yep.
And then now look at her life. And like I don't know when you do your business or whatever, but like people ask, like, why do you get up so early? It's so that I do this and I'm excited to do this. And
Yeah.
like and it I don't know. It's seriously the best thing on the planet. And I just wish more people would do it.
Me too. Yeah, like, and the thing is, when people say like they don't have the time, I kind of I can't accept that excuse because so many people in our community are busy stay-at-home moms. They've got like 4 kids and they're doing well in this business. We've got people in the corporate world that are working 60-hour weeks that are literally like giving up their time of watching Netflix, a couple hours in the evening to just work on their business. Like,
Hmm.
there's so many people making this happen, and I think you really have to look at like what do you really value? Do you want to be where you are a year from now, or do you want to change your life and work towards the life that you really want? Like we
Yeah.
only get one life. That's the craziest thing to me. It's like we get one life. Like that's it,
Yeah.
you know?
I know. Yeah.
It's wild, but well, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you
This
for
was
having
really
me.
sweet. I mean, yeah, I'm sure you have a busy day, and I've got some things I've got to do. But thanks so much for taking the time, and
Aw.
we should just do this again sometime just to chat. But
Oh my God, I would love it. I would absolutely love it.